Welcome to today's FYI program, and visiting today with Regan Michaelsen. She is the Executive Director of Information Referral and Assistance Services. Regan, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So you were telling me you've been there 24 years now.
Yes.
How did this all come about?
Well, honestly, it's funny because I started through a temp agency thinking that I was just going to be helping with a fundraiser. I had really no idea what information referral was, but they did. I just knew that there was this big golf outing coming up, and the person that did the job that I ended up taking was leaving like 6 weeks before the outing, and I had some fundraising experience. My sister-in-law was involved with information referral. And so anyway, long story short, I applied for this temporary job to help with a fundraiser, and 24 years later, I'm still here.
I would imagine during those 24 years, you've seen quite a few changes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The needs have evolved over the years substantially. And yeah, it's just a different world, you know.
And you were saying that you actually took on the Benevolent Society?
Yes. So we legally merged with the Benevolent Society in 2021. So both agencies independently were, small but mighty agencies, been around for a long time. Information referral was established in 1979. A lot of people think, we just kind of popped up, but we've been around for a really long time. Benevolent Society, I wish I could, but I can't put a number on the years that they were in Clinton, but I know it was over 150. And so two longstanding programs just came down to, how can we better serve our clients?
By what, combining forces?
Yes, and that's what it came to. Before the merge, Information Referral administered Pantries United, and so we didn't have a food pantry on site, but we had 4 food pantries in town that we supported. So if somebody needed food, they would come to Information Referral. We would make a referral to the appropriate food pantry based on their address. And really, this was just so that there wasn't any duplication in service, and everybody who had the need for food was able to get what they needed. So we kept the statistical data. We made quarterly payments to each pantry site. And so, of course, we merged right kind of at the end of the pandemic, not all the way through yet. And so, that was a real eye-opener, having people go from place to place. Support was good, but, it was limited. Everybody kind of was looking for that place that they wanted to put their money in that pandemic period. And so we it came down to our boards talked and said, it might make more sense just for us to put these services together under one roof. And then it just started from there.
You mentioned board, so there is a board of directors. Do you answer to them, or how does that set up?
Yes, I do. I've been there for a long time, so, they trust my judgment. But yes, I do there's, policies and procedures that we follow. And so if there's something big coming up, then I run it through the board and get approval for that sort of stuff.
Is there term limits on this board, or how does that work?
Yes. So the term limits are 3-year terms, and they can do 2 consecutive terms with a break after that, at least a year break. And then if they choose to come back and we have room, then they can do a 3rd term. But does have to be a break.
How often do they meet, and what are the responsibilities of the board of directors?
So we meet monthly. We meet every month at Grow Clinton, and each member is asked to be at the meetings, help with, so we can vote on different things. I have a fundraising committee, I've got a marketing committee, I've got a finance committee, and I've got a personnel committee. So each one of those, if we have a personnel problem, then of course the personnel committee comes in and we talk. Or if we just need to change like the employee handbook or policies and procedures, that's something that, I would sit down with the personnel committee. When I write my budget, I write the budget, and then before we present to the rest of the board, I sit down with my finance committee and go over everything. And so every person has their part. Yeah.
We're visiting with Regan Michaelsen, Executive Director, Information Referral and Assistance Services. Let's break this down.
Yeah.
The information part of it.
Right. So We are, obviously it's in our name, so we want to make sure that we are well versed on services that are available for people in Clinton County. So we take a lot of time to educate ourselves on, what's out there, what's available, how those programs work, and how we can make the appropriate referrals then if needed for people who are coming in for help.
Do you deal with like state and federal government then?
So we don't receive any state or federal.
Okay.
We're 100% nonprofit, so we rely on United Way. I write a lot of small grants throughout the year. We work through the church network, and then just private donations and things like that. So,
What kind of a budget are you working with, Regan?
well, I will say it's quite large.
Okay.
So before we merged, I think information referrals budget was under 200,000. Benevolent societies was under 100,000. And now we are upwards of 400,000.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the services that you do provide.
So that's funny. So we never say no to anything. So I can talk about the regular services that we provide. But because we don't get that state and federal money, we can also be very flexible in who and how we help. But our priority services are rental assistance to keep people in their homes, motel sheltering. So this is primarily like when it's really cold out, like deadly cold or deadly hot. We obviously don't want people sleeping outside in those elements, but we can also look at situations where somebody might be trying to get into treatment, and that assessment takes some time. And so it could be a week or two before they're able to get placed somewhere. So that's another situation where we might shelter somebody to get them some stability before they go into treatment. Domestic situations, we help with that as well. Sometimes the police, they do carry our vouchers also. So, if it's on the weekend and it's really cold out, they can issue a voucher and shelter that person until the next business day where they can come and talk with us and we can see how we can further help. So that's a kind of unique program. We also do utilities. We do the MedTree program. So during the holiday season, Mercy One does a fundraiser for people who can't afford their prescription medications. That comes to information referral, and then we allocate that throughout the year. We have a Backpack Buddy program. So this is a weekend food program for kids who have been identified by teachers and school counselors who would likely go without food over the weekend breaks. And then we have a food pantry on site. We do about 30 to 40 food pantries a day. We used to do 40 in a month, so the number has definitely increased over time. And then just oddities like car repair, or we just recently helped somebody reinstate their CNA license. We helped a guy get his CDL license renewed, so if it's within our means, then we'll do it. If it means getting somebody to stability where they aren't having to come in and ask for service, then we're going to take a look at it.
Just listening to you, it's kind of, could be overwhelming at times, I would imagine. Do you have employees? Are there volunteers? I mean, it's just not you.
Oh, no, that would be impossible.
Yeah.
No, it's myself and then 5 employees. And then I have a good number of volunteers that are there. One every day. I've got some other ones that are there 2-3 days a week. Just depends on their schedules, but they're very committed. And they're just as important as my paid employees.
Where are you located at?
We are at 219 First Avenue.
Okay, and you've been there, but you say you may need more room?
We do need more room. Not may. We are definitely out of space. So along with our financial services and our food pantry, we have a free store. So anything that gets donated, from clothing to furniture to appliances, medical supplies, if it's in good shape and it's usable, then we will take it. And so people can come in and shop once a month. And right now, we're just bursting at the seams. And we're blessed. People want to to make those donations to us, as well as food donations. So we just need some additional space to maybe hang on to some of those seasonal clothes like winter coats. We hate to have to pass those on, but we don't have a place to keep them in the summer months. Dry food, food storage, like our pantry is quite small, and the population we're serving is not. And so we need the extra space. So yeah, we are in the process of trying to make that happen.
We'll have more with Regan Michaelsen on FYI, our weather update brought to you by Air Control.
An umbrella is not a bad idea as you head out the door here for your Thursday. We are expecting at least partly cloudy skies that'll lead to warmer temperatures and a few showers developing by this afternoon. Those temperature readings will reach the low 60s. Skies will clear out tonight, not as cold. Will drop to near 40. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Some clouds out there. Current temperature now 48 degrees. Our update brought to you by Air Control.
Simple. That's something we all can appreciate. And when it comes to servicing your air conditioner this summer, nothing is more simple than calling Air Control Inc. in Clinton, Iowa. Day or night, hot or cold, Air Control is your local comfort solution. Schedule your service today by calling 243-7228.
Day or night, hot or cold, call Air Control, your affordable comfort solution.
Today's FYI program, it's a pleasure to have Regan Michaelsen, Executive Director, Information Referral and Assistance Services. You do so much for the community. Those who are able to help you, how can they help you?
I mean, you can help in so many different ways. You have extra stuff at home that you're not going to use, bring it in. Even if it's something you could go to Walmart and pay $5 for, some of our folks can't afford to do that. So if you have something at home that's in good condition, still works, somebody would love to have that. We also, of course, take financial donations because we don't receive those state or federal dollars. So that's very important as well. There is a link on the website to make a donation, or you could just simply send something in. And then volunteering, that's huge for us as well. I have more volunteers than I do staff, and we could not do everything that we do without those volunteers. So, even if it's just you have a little extra time and you want to spend a couple hours a day coming in or a couple hours a week, reach out because we definitely have stuff we could use help with.
And what are some of the things that they would be helping you with?
So putting those food pantries together, stocking those items, going through the donations that are coming in. So we get a large amount of donations every day. So it's getting those clothes hung up. Our store area has everything labeled and based on size. So we have women's clothes in one section, men's clothes in another section, and then we have the size labels there. So, getting that organized and making sure stuff is where it's supposed to be is very important. When the shoppers get in there, it gets messy fast. And so that could be a full-time job for somebody just going in and keeping that stuff, putting those clothes back on hangers if they get dropped, organizing that sort of stuff. So there's always plenty to do.
When can people donate? I mean, say they have some clothing or something they would like to donate. When can they come by?
So we take donations Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday between the hours of 9 and 3.
Okay. So now you talked earlier about the Backpack Buddy program, but you're going to need some help with that as well because what is it? Riverbend Food Bank will not be assisting any longer? Correct.
So right now it's a pretty seamless process. The financial piece is the hardest part, but the way it works for us now is we purchase those bags of food prepackaged from Riverbend Food Bank for about $7 a bag. They are no longer going to provide those for us to purchase. And so, we got to thinking, how can we continue on with this program? Logistically, we don't have the space to hold additional food. I don't have the volunteers to package those. That in itself would not work. And then the cost to put those together ourselves would be much higher than what we're purchasing them for now. So we did a little research. I did find the company that Riverbend is purchasing from, and I reached out to them, and they will deliver to us. And Clausen's currently stores my backpacks. They're wonderful. They pick them up for us every week, store them in their warehouse. These backpacks don't have anything perishable, so there's no risk of anything rotting or spoiling. And so I think if everything goes as planned, I can purchase these packages directly from the place that Riverbend was purchasing from. I spoke with Clausen's. They said yes, they can deliver them to our warehouse. So the next step for me is securing the funding to cover that. ADM usually covers that, so they're working on that right now. They're looking at their numbers to see what they can give us. Then I am usually left with a good portion too. Doing it this way, without Riverbend being the middle person, it will cost us maybe $5,000 to $7,000 more to do. But I just feel it's very important to get kids that food over the weekend breaks.
Oh, no doubt.
And we've been doing it since 2014, and it's never been a situation where anybody has said, you know what, we just really don't need that. So it's important.
Well, you said you came on board to help with the golf tournament.
Yeah.
24 years ago.
Yeah.
You got your golf tournament coming up May 22nd. You're going to be out at Valley Oaks. Fill us in. How can people help you there?
Okay. So if you want to volunteer, just reach out and I'll get you out there somewhere. This is a new course for us this year, larger group of people. So I'm not 100% sure how and where I'm going to need volunteers, but I know I will. And so I can find things as people come in. And then also just participating. We can still take teams up until the week before the event. So that is, I believe, in the next week. I think, I don't even know what day it is today.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
It is? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, till the end of next week, somebody can still come in and sign up. It's $260 for a team. But then if you're a business and you want to sponsor, we have some sponsorship opportunities also. You could do $250 for a whole sponsorship, $500 for a whole sponsorship and a team. And then we have a $1,000 sponsorship, which is a whole sponsor, a team, and then promotional items at the event, and then their name logo on our flyers. So
Can people sign up out at Valley Oaks as well?
yes,
Okay, that's good. That's a great location for you. So it'll be 18 holes of golf, I would imagine.
18 holes of golf.
Friday, May 22nd. What time are you going to get started?
So lunch and registration will be at 11, and then we'll have a shotgun start at noon.
Okay. And you told me this is your big one.
This is our big one. This is the big one for us. Every year, the golf tournament is our big fundraiser.
What other fundraisers do you have?
So we had been doing a trivia night, and we are going to pivot from that just because, lots of trivia out there. So we're looking for something different. We did do a Mother and Son Dance March 1st at the Vista. We had a great turnout, so I think that's something we'll keep going with. Sort of looking at bingo, but now I'm looking at, a lot of people are kind of starting to do the bingo thing, so I don't know, maybe we'll do a song bingo or something just to make it a little bit different. But yeah, always looking for new opportunities, something unique that something, isn't being done every weekend, so.
Again, visiting with Regan Michaelsen, just about ready to wrap things up. Now, earlier, you mentioned county. Do you serve all the county?
We serve all of Clinton County.
That's quite an undertaking. I
Yeah.
thought it was just Clinton.
Nope. We serve the outlying areas and DeWitt.
Percentage-wise, any idea? I mean, is the bigger percentage from people in Clinton?
Oh,
or
for
not?
sure.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, the percentage that we get in the outlying areas, DeWitt area, I would say maybe 2% of the population that we're serving is quite small.
Okay, well, we appreciate your time. If people would like to find out more information about information referral and assistance services, or how they could use your services, or how they can help with your services, how can they best do that, Regan?
You can check out our website. It's www.iras.clinton.com. But if you're somebody who's interested in just seeing how we operate, just come down. I love to take people through the building to show them, how everything works and what we have available for people. So if you have time and you want to just come take a little tour, I'd be happy to do that as well.
So again, irasclinton.com. Your phone number is 243-5818. Once again, the hours are?
9 to 3, Monday through Friday.
Regan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.